welcome to Carroll and Keddie Do the Headlines with special guest Master in the Chair. And welcome to July.
Yeah, July 1st.
I know.
It's going like that, isn't it? The days are blurring into one, the months are continuous.
It's over halfway through the year. It's closer to Christmas.
My God. Closer to being cold again.
That'll please you.
That will please me. Your headlines this week recorded was the hottest day of the year so far.
Wow. What temperature did it reach?
35 degrees in Kent. Temperatures are continuing to soar in England, with Tuesday now becoming the hottest day of the year.
Do you want me to run your bar?
Yeah, I'd like that. I spent about, what was it, last week or the week before? I spent the whole week in a snow centre because I couldn't bloody cope. I learned an extreme sport to avoid the weather. That's where I'm going with this. Yeah, I wasn't built for this. Nevertheless, I make it work. It's not sweat, I'm glowing.
Exactly. People pay to go on holiday though, and now you don't need to go, just go to your backyard.
Just what I would say is
back garden.
I don't know if it's, you'll zoom.
Oh.
Look at that. That if the sun hit me in the wrong way, I'd blind people with the sweat. You know what I mean? Hellish. However, it's continuing to soar. And, be grateful for what you have, I guess.
Would you like to know what the hottest temperature recorded in the UK has ever been?
Yes.
The hottest temperature was 40.3 degrees on the 19th of July 2022 in Coningsby, Lincolnshire. Do you know the hottest temperature in Scotland?
Yes.
34.8.
Really?
Was also on the 19th of July 2022. I don't know if you've heard of this place, Charter Hall on the Scottish border.
Fantastic. We do just have nonsense names for places, don't we?
Oh, we've been to some Puddlestown.
It was Puddletown? Right, let me just explain this to you. It was very hot in Puddletown as well. And I had to Google it because I didn't want to offend the people of Puddletown if I rock up, me not knowing nothing. And, oh, it's lovely to be in Puddletown. And it's Poodleton. It's Poodleton. No, it was Puddletown. Do you want to know why it's called Puddletown? Because it was built next to the River Piddle. Are you kidding me? We've passed Littleton. Who lives in Littleton? What's got the borrowers? What's happening here? Anyway,
there.
How dare you? How dare you? It's ridiculous. None of it makes sense. It's not much better when you get up to Scotland because then it's just silly names with phlegm in the middle. Ochtermuchty. What are you talking about? Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm very upset with it. Yes. So, in more positive news,
Always.
I wasn't involved, neither were you. There's no we in this. The researchers of the University of Edinburgh, because they have developed and they've tweaked a strain of E. coli using mushrooms and soil. So imagine, you you got like beer?
Yes.
So you get beer, right? And when you're making beer, you have to ferment, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
So what's happened is this mushroom and the soil stuff, all of the raw materials are being used to, in a way, it's called precision fermentation. And it's basically breaking down plastic, like you get in your plastic bottles and everything, to create paracetamol, rather than using crude oil.
How interesting.
Yeah. So, again, looking after the planet, because otherwise it's just going to keep getting hotter, and Tory doesn't want that. Healthcare. And another leap in healthcare is that the UK government has hatched plans to leapfrog deadly diseases. So this means that we are essentially going to be doing genome scanning from a very young age, so babies. Going to get genome scanned, and that's going to tell them possible diseases. It can give an insight into the progression of that child's life, what they could possibly need help with in the future, and ways to treat it before it gets anywhere near it.
Insane.
So we've got that happening as well, which is fantastic. And it's going to save a lot of people a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of pain. Spores in ancient Egypt tombs, which were initially thought to be hazardous, but they are now being used to cure cancer.
Oh, amazing.
I know. So now we're starting to engineer with all the funguses and all the raw materials to do all these things.
Wow. Yes, mushroom fun. Again, you're reporting that it's hot. I can see that. But thank you for informing me that is the hottest day.
Yeah.
It's great to find out the hottest day of England and Scotland ever as well. Yeah.
Scotland.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing. We love the heat.
You do. I'm happy for you. My necklace formed a tan line with the outline of the necklace shape, so I literally was being burned by the sun. I was having a sun branded onto me.
Whenever you go into the sun, you are exposing yourself to skin cancer.
Oh.
But we've now got mushrooms from the University of Edinburgh coming in,
I've got my UV50.
so all will be well.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So it's time for Master of the Chair's question of the week.
Very good. Well, I've got 2 questions for you today. So
Oh.
to start with number 1. Is it better to always tell the truth or to protect others' feelings?
Always tell the truth.
Yeah. 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 You can't be sparing folks' feelings.
Well, maybe we should talk about some scenarios
Oh!
for telling the truth or protecting others' feelings.
Okay.
So tell me some scenarios where it's always better to tell the truth.
If someone,
If I look horrendous and you're going to let me go out and
I would never do that.
No, you wouldn't, but other people have.
Oh, because I feel that's because people can be jealous, sadly. I do.
Dear.
I feel there's a lot of jealousy, and that's where a lot of lying in that respect comes from, absolutely.
Oh dear.
Which is a shame,
Yeah.
because you don't need to be jealous of anybody. Just be you.
Yeah, man.
You do you.
You do.
You know?
Yeah.
Don't need to be somebody else. So, yeah, tell the truth in that respect,
The truth.
absolutely. Tell the truth in all
Tell the
respects.
truth and nothing but the truth.
Nothing but the truth.
So what about protecting others' feelings as being more important? Can you think of some scenarios?
So in a way of
It's a hard one,
say
isn't it?
it's a bit of a hard
You can't
one.
even lie on Among Us.
I'm-
Check out our gaming channel.
Yes, we have a gaming channel on Twitch. The link's right here on the screen right here on Twitch. So we go live on Twitch and we play games such as Among Us.
Repo, Among Us.
Yeah,
Yeah, Zoe can't lie. She doesn't like it.
I don't like it. I
She
don't
doesn't like it.
I
So
don't
it's a
like
very
it.
fun game for me. It's fantastic.
So back to the question. In a way of we're walking down the street and say Tori overheard somebody slag me off, say going like, oh, she looks terrible in that skirt or whatever. And I turned around to Tori and said, what did they just say? And Tori went, oh, nothing. A little white lie like that. Do I think it's easy to spare feelings? Well, in one hand, yes, you could absolutely just say, oh, nothing. In the second hand, do I care what some random person on the street has just said about my skirt? No,
I think it
I literally
depends.
don't care.
Yeah, I think it depends
So-
on the person's mentality, isn't it? And
Yeah.
in the sense of like, so imagine, right? Actually, I'm gonna give you a visual scenario.
Okay.
So I'm like a child, and I'm like, Zoe,
Hi.
so I made you a picture. Is it good? What are you gonna say?
Oh,
What would you say?
well, I would always say it was good.
Yeah, but you're lying.
Yeah, but I would find something.
This is
within-
what happened with Hitler, you know. It was people going, that's very good, and then he wasn't, and then we all know what happened after that. You see what I mean?
Did he lie to a little child about a picture?
Did he lie to a little child about a picture? Do you know what he was an artist?
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Yeah. So
Is
that's what happened.
Oh, did people lie to him?
Well, they must have done.
What, and said he was good?
If he wasn't very good, yeah.
I don't
He
know.
got rejected from art school, didn't he?
So they actually told the truth, and it probably caused a chain reaction.
Well, to be quite honest, sometimes I do feel when people go to these schools, they should be told no because they aren't very good at what they do and they don't have that particular talent and maybe they should be told no, but then also, okay, well, we're now delving into
See,
it
this is
because
the-
there are some parents that will say to their child that their child can sing, for instance, and the child cannot sing. And then the poor child goes to a musical theatre school and gets rejected, and the child is then crushed because they've been lied to by their parents.
They've been Broadway bound since the age of 5.
So they thought by mummy and daddy, but actually they've not been bound for no Broadway.
So I think depends on the mentality, depends on the context, depends on the situation, and also if it's a child or not, and if you believe that what the child is doing is genuinely horrific. So here's a picture I made. It's you.
Lovely, lovely. So
Yeah.
this child here has painted me a beautiful picture, and I'm going to say, wow, you got my hair colour so right.
Yeah, I
Look
did.
at that. That yellow
Yeah.
is like the blonde of my hair. Well done, you.
And not
there we
comment
go.
on any of the rest of it.
So there we go. I haven't been horrible. I haven't told them that they're going to be the next Picasso.
You have evaded the situation.
Yes.
You've swerved around it.
Yes.
Very nice. Smart.
That's me. Swerving.
Yeah.
It's more scenarios because, this is quite interesting.
Well, a
give us
reliable
more.
source on the internet has given some debates for both sides. So can you consider for me protecting other people's feelings, mental health considerations for individuals struggling with anxiety, depression or trauma? Raw truths can be destabilizing.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I think it's really difficult to answer this question as I am very empathetic and compassionate. So I'm struggling with this.
Until you're behind a slow driver, yeah.
So, what other examples could we give? Such as, yes, I suppose, what would you do if somebody was going for a TV show and they were wanting to be cast in this TV show, and then you watched the TV show and you thought, well, this person isn't really suitable for this TV show. That's not in their casting type. What would you tell them?
I think, because if it's the kind of person where this conversation is going to spiral them into, I can't do this, well, I can't do anything then I think it would again be about repackaging how I say it. And I think it would be a case of, okay, you want to go for that character? What draws you to that then?
No.
Is it because you like the show? Oh, well, it's a great show. Have you seen this one? And then I would find a way. I would pull every string in the book. I would ring up Simon Cowell, and I'd be like, listen, mate, I've got the new talent. He's not the TV person, is he? He's the song person. I would ring up the king of TV, and I'd be like, listen, I've got the next hit thing. You've not seen anything like this yet. Can you please produce a third season of this? And then I would give the person, I would be like, go for that.
What would you say to somebody if you thought they weren't good at something that they wanted to do?
I would ask them more questions in depth about the skill that they were looking at, and I would look at a way of getting them more thinking about. So if it were acting per se, and they got up and they were like, I'm going to go audition for the Globe, and then they delivered the worst spiel of Macbeth that I've ever seen, and it's given it what's a line from Macbeth? To be or not to be? Yeah, that's not Macbeth.
Out, damn spot, out.
It's given it out damn spot. And I'm like, it's the only spot you're getting because it ain't gonna be spotlight. And if it's looking a little bit like that, it would be okay, friend. How have you looked into classes for this? Have you looked into this and that? And I would run over the material with them, and if I'm still like, this isn't really getting anywhere, I would maybe encourage them into it just for the sake of rejection from the actual entity of whatever it is that they're doing, so that they can actually experience it on the professional level of whatever it is they're trying to get into. If it's like, I was doing snowboarding, so it's like if I was like, I'm going to go compete and then fell flat on my face and broke both my legs, it would be like, well, you need to know yourself. Yeah. And it would be better than a friend going, yeah, you're fantastic.
Yeah, of course, because you shouldn't trust everybody, as I said at the start of this conversation, there's a lot of jealousy running around.
Yeah.
So you've got to remember that person could be very jealous of you. So yeah, I suppose you've got to know who you trust.
Where the intention is.
Where the intention is. I'm a firm believer you should always trust yourself above everybody.
Yeah. You just are a firm believer.
I'm a believer.
I believe. Yeah.
Believe. You can do whatever you put your heart to. You put your mind to, put your heart to. I'm not a ballet dancer, for instance. However, I did do ballet dancing lessons as a child, and my mum never told me that I was the next Darcy Bustle. Yeah? Because I am not dainty in that respect. Elegant, but not dainty. Yes, I cannot dance for toffee.
You couldn't hustle like bustle.
No, I couldn't. I couldn't. I can do the choo-choo train.
What's
and
the choo-choo train? Oh, yes.
And and I
hat.
can, and yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And I can disco dance and have fun at a party. I cannot do much else in that vein. And I am happy to know that from the bottom of my gut, to be like, no.
And it's because people were truthful with you, and that taught you to be truthful with
Potentially.
yourself.
Oh, now that's a cracking when I say that one more time.
Because people were truthful with you, and it taught you to be truthful with yourself.
Yeah. Amazing. So there we are. Quite a
Yeah.
few topics covered in this week's episode. Next week we're doing things a little bit differently. Both of us will not be with each other in person
Sadly, no.
for a little while. So we are going to head back in time, starting with the 1950s next week for you.
Yeah, we're going to travel with the news from back then all the way up to present day, and then the regular news will commence. Yeah, this has been Carroll and Keddie do the headlines, and like and subscribe if you stayed this long, if you're keeping up with any of this. Hi, Mum!
Hi, Sue!
Yeah, see you later.
Take
See
care.
you later, guys.
Bye.
Enjoy the heat.
This has been the headlines of Carroll, Keddie, Bash. We hope you come along again. We'll be back in a flash. The headlines.